Hey everyone, it's Rick Carson with the Beautiful Make Believe Studios, and the time has come for me to sell all of the stuff that's here. This has been a long time coming. We've discussed it for years on what to do with the growing collection of things that just happen to be populating every square inch of the studio. I have to say that I'm a collector by heart. I have a keyboard collection, I've got guitar amp collection, I've got microphone collection, I've got a pedal collection. But one of the first collections to go here at the studio is something that's very near and dear to me, and something that we've actually trimmed back throughout the years. But it is a Power Ranger collection, and this is something that started many years ago. I was sent a couple of Power Rangers toys that were mine from when I was a kid, and I happened to go on Craigslist one day, and there were just hundreds of Power Ranger toys that were available that I bought from a guy locally here in Omaha, and the collection just kind of grew from there into many action figures, not only Power Rangers, but also Dragon Ball Z stuff. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that this doesn't need to be at the recording studio anymore. And there are a lot of things that don't need to be at the studio anymore, especially in 2025. You know, young kids aren't going out of their way to learn about a lot of this older stuff. And even if they are interested in learning about it, the time that they get to actually spend in front of it in the studio, unless they're here every day, I think that they find it a little bit more intimidating than they do inspiring. And I've seen that multiple times. One thing in particular that I'm talking about is this console. I've seen people who have worked on consoles before be in a position where they would rather have an interface on the desk with a volume knob that they know they're cool to turn up than rather just walking over and turning up the monitor pot on the desk. There's something inherently intimidating about a big multi-$1,000 piece of equipment, and I can understand that when I try and put myself in the position of another person coming into this building. So there are a lot of things that I actually think will be going, but there are some considerations to make, and some things may continue to ring true. One thing that was taught to me very early in my career is don't ever sell your microphones. You'll regret it. And so far as I know, I've actually only sold one microphone to Jeremy McKinnon from A Day to Remember. And while I don't regret it, I do miss that microphone a little bit. So I don't know if I'll be selling some microphones, but maybe. I've talked about selling some guitar amplifiers, and there were some people in the building who definitely put their hands up at that one. And we do utilize the amplifiers, I would say, a little bit more than some other stuff in the building. There's 9 or 10 tube screamers in the building where we usually use maybe 2 of them. So it may be time to just trim back some of these collections in certain directions. If you were in my position where you had a lot of stuff, or you were in a position where you were coming into this building with nothing in it, what would be important to you today in 2025? Would you have a patch bay? Would you want things directly patched? Would you have everything in a big server so all of your gear could live in a closet somewhere and you could just insert it? There's a lot of things to think about, and a lot of things that we've been throwing around. Plus, we have the ability to build some stuff that other people probably won't be able to do. So, curious on your thoughts. I have some thoughts of my own, but either way, I'm very, very excited for you to see how this progresses. Thanks.